Hi there, hope you're all well and managed to have a bit of a relax over Easter and that you're all staying safe. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the nitrogen cycle. Just like the carbon cycle, we're going to look at how the element nitrogen is recycled, mainly by bacteria. Just to start off though, little sort of thing to get your mind going. Your body contains atoms of carbon and nitrogen that were once stars or came from stars, and they along the way would have made up the bodies of dinosaurs like T-Rex and that. So there's a little bit of a T-Rex walking around inside you. So anyway, onto the nitrogen cycle. So this is based around your iBook, around about this page, sometimes a little bit different for you. So we've got a vast amount of nitrogen up in the atmosphere, but it is very, very unreactive. So let's have a look at how it is actually cycled. So I need to go back to the beginning on this. Right, so as I said, the nitrogen gas there's lots of it, but it is very, very unreactive. There's actually a triple bond holding the nitrogens together. So as a result of this, there's very few living things that are able to break that and turn the nitrogen into something useful, which is why this is why we call it fixation. Plants are able to take carbon dioxide and fix it into something useful like glucose. So what we're going to look at is how some bacteria are able to take atmospheric nitrogen and fix it into nitrates. So what's the point of this? Well, what plants are able to do, they can make sugars really easy through photosynthesis, but to make proteins they need to add the element nitrogen, which they get from the mineral nitrates, which is NO3-. So once they've made their sugars, got the nitrates from the soil, then they're able to turn those into amino acids, and of course they can build amino acids up together to make proteins. So where does this nitrate come from? Well, it comes from these amazing bacteria called nitrogen-fixing bacteria, and they're able to take atmospheric nitrogen, and with a bit of magic they're able to make nitrates with it. They've got some incredible enzymes in them. And these bacteria either live in the soil, or some of them are so valuable. These are actually some peas from my garden, what we call the legume plants. They actually have little nodules on their roots, and they provide a home for the bacteria. And the bacteria gain because they get given sugars by the plant, and the plant gains because it gets the nitrates from the bacteria. Right, let's just show you one of these in reality. So if you look right just there, there's a little nodule. This is a clover plant. You can see like three-leaf clover, another legume, and it has the bacteria living in these nodules there. So these nitrates are used by the plant to make proteins, but then we have some other bacteria which take the proteins in the dead animals, say this mouse here, say it's mussels, got lots of protein in them, and of course waste products like feces and urine, urea, they contain nitrogen as well. So first off we have decomposing bacteria, and these are the smelly ones. They release the smelly ammonia, which is NH3. So the proteins are broken down firstly by decomposers into ammonia, and then we have another lot of bacteria which are called nitrifying bacteria, and these take the ammonia and they make it into nitrates. Okay, so those nitrates, this is basically how fertilizer compost works like that. So you manure, you put it into the soil, it's broken down firstly into ammonia, then into nitrates, and then the plants can use that. Unfortunately, we have some bad guys in terms of bacteria in this as well. These are the so-called denitrifying bacteria, and these tend to live in waterlogged soil because they're anaerobic, and they take the nitrate, and they release it back into nitrogen. So farmers really don't want these bacteria because they're removing fertility from the soil and it's going up to be useless. But as I said, these live in waterlogged soil, so if you get plenty of air into the soil by ploughing it, etc., digging drainage ditches, then that's a really good way of removing the water and getting the air into the soil and preventing these bacteria breaking down the nitrates. Right, so what I want you to do is to make a a diagram like this. So here we can see the nitrogen fixing bacteria. I've got lightning on here as well, just to show you this is something else that can turn nitrogen gas into nitrates, and it really gives an idea of the incredible enzymes that these bacteria have to be able to sort of mimic the amount of energy that's going into lightning. So they make the nitrates, plants take up the nitrates, turn it into proteins, adding it to the sugars they're eating in photosynthesis. Obviously animals that can eat the proteins, and that's where we get our nitrogen from. And then we have the decomposers first making ammonia, and then the nitrifying bacteria to produce nitrates. And these nitrates, say it is compost or manure, this is how you improve the fertility and get it back into the plant so they can make more protein there. So I said these are the bad guys, the denitrifiers, which are removing fertility from the soil. So what I want you to do in terms of on Google Classroom, first off is produce a diagram like that, and then specifically how the nitrogen in the protein is going into nitrates. So remember, that's that two-stage process. We have the decomposers making ammonia, and then the nitrifying bacteria producing the nitrate. Okay, so I know this is lots of different bacteria, and not the most exciting topic that the WJEC chose to tack onto the separate science, but that's what it is. We'll do a little bit more on this next lesson, focusing on the bacteria. Okay, so then upload a photo of your work or any digital documents that you do, and I'll give you some feedback. Been very impressed with what I've seen so far from you, so keep it up and stay safe. Oh, sorry, this will be due in for our lesson on when is our lesson this week? This will be due in for our lesson on Thursday. So the diagram and just that explanation, and then we'll look in a bit more detail at the bacteria on Thursday. Okay, so that is due Thursday the 23rd.